What's up, y'all, and welcome back. Today's a bit off the script. I am just, first of all, I need to get dressed. I need to look presentable for the day, aka the gym. It's 1 o'clock now, and I'm trying to make it to the gym by 4:30. So I'm like, you know, as I get dressed, I'm gonna talk to the girls. I'm gonna chat with the girls because in my mind, we're all friends, and guys as well. I know guys watch my channel, but there are a lot of things that have been going on in my mind, and I know I cannot be the only one that is thinking this way or seeing these things that are going on. I feel like the world is in a bit of disarray. So I intentionally live in a bit of a bubble, as in I don't really know too much in detail about what is going on in the world, and that is once again very intentional because I know our brains are not designed to handle the amount of negativity and trauma, traumatic events and things that are not forced upon us, because no one can force you to watch these videos or read these news articles, but encouraged. Like it encourages us to watch. And even on my phone, for some reason, every day I'll get like the news notification that pops up on the iPhone, and I can't figure out how to turn it off. But just looking at some of the titles that pop up, someone's got their head blown off, someone got robbed, someone was found in a freaking freezer, and there's a lot of things happening outside of the US that are just horrible and traumatic, and I am like, I cannot keep absorbing this every single day. We cannot keep absorbing these type of things every single freaking day, because it's going to, it forms your reality. I feel like the media has so much power over our perception of reality, and this was something that I actually had to do a study on in college, I remember, and how sometimes it's very intentional. They have so much power over how we perceive reality, and it's intentional, and it's scary to think that, you know, my reality is based off of what the media wants me to think. So after I did that study, I was very much like, yeah, I just couldn't unsee all of the things that I had to research in order to get that paper written. But anyway, I have been educating myself like on certain things with the economy and the GDP, and I was reading a news article the other day. I intentionally searched for these things. It wasn't something that popped up for me, just about inflation once again, because I feel like a lot of us are feeling it, and maybe more so for the first time if you're someone around my age. I am 32. And this is the first time in my life that I feel like I have truly felt the impact of inflation. I didn't really have to deal with the last, what do they call it? I don't know if they call it a crash, the 2008, I believe. I was still in high school, and obviously I'm not paying for it myself, so I really didn't have to deal with the effects of that, and I don't really know how that affected my mom, because, you know, that's just not, finances is not really something that we talked about, or even to this day talk about. But I just want to educate myself on what is impacting me right now and my finances and my peace of mind. And I was reading this article that talked about how economists and Americans are not on the same page, as in how we measure the health of the economy. The factors that we take into consideration are very different. So I think it's interesting to see someone on TV talking about how great the economy is, and people are struggling to get jobs. People are struggling to keep their jobs. People are struggling to pay for groceries and feed their family and pay their bills, especially, you know, with mortgages and interest rates going up. And, you know, we have the crisis where people aren't able to get homeowners insurance. Insurance companies are dropping them left and right for things that are completely out of their control, like natural disasters. I feel like in the future these are going to be more and more common because global warming, it is what it is. You know, we don't have full control over global warming. No sole human being has full control over that. And for your policy to go up astronomically, I feel like I don't know if I would keep my sanity if my insurance went up by like $300-400. And I'll be honest, I would probably have to rob Peter to pay Paul, but even now, you know, ain't no Peter and ain't no Paul to rob. So I don't know, it's crazy. It's crazy, and I like to hear people's perspective on things. I was talking to someone the other day, and she's usually good at job hopping to increase her income, and that's what a lot of people have been having to do recently, is job hop to increase their income, because the only way you're going to really come out on top when it comes to inflation, because just raises are not keeping up with the cost of living, is to find another job. Find a higher paying job. And I am not that person that says that lightly, because I feel like it's more so about the service that you are providing in these jobs over income. Income or your salary is very important, but you should still feel fulfilled in your line of work. But now you may have to take on a role that you don't really like just to keep up with the cost of living if you want to put food on your table at the end of the day. And I don't really have a solution. I'm not here to offer you a solution. I'm just here to chat it up, and hopefully y'all chat it up in the comments too. But yeah, I'm not here to offer a solution because I don't have one. I do not have one. And as I am doing my research every single day about how Americans are feeling, like I've watched some videos from CNBC, and not even just videos from the news, but like regular people, seeing how people are feeling, what are their experiences. And I think that the general consensus is it's just really, really hard right now. It is really hard to figure out what our next move should be, because everything just feels very much up in the air. No one really knows. No one really knows what they're doing. No one knows what they're doing. I can't say that the people in office even know what they're doing, because they're human at the end of the day, and they don't have all of these superpowers. They do have access to a lot of data and resources to hopefully help them make decisions, but I don't even think that they really know what they're doing. I don't even think that they really know what the solution is. But I'm a person, I find human behavior very interesting. So as I'm researching different topics like on inflation and how it's impacting different people, the comment section is just very, very interesting to me to read, because everyone has a solution when it's not them, right? Everyone has a black and white solution to people who are being interviewed, their problems, and it's always more so, this is your fault. If you would have done this, then you wouldn't have this reality. And I'm like, sometimes are we watching the same video? Because I don't think that these people have given you, you know, any additional information to make this assumption. But I know, you know, assumptions are based off of experiences, and maybe that's just what they've experienced. And I am that person that uses edge control on their eyebrows because I'm out of brow gel. But, you know, sometimes I find, especially now, if you're struggling right now, if you call yourself quote unquote broke, it ain't all your fault. Being broke is not always your fault. There are plenty of people who make sound financial decisions, who are working, you know, multiple jobs. They are living within their means because they don't have extra and money to live outside of their means. They don't have access to credit cards and things like that, who are still struggling, who still have just enough or maybe not even enough to pay their bills. And I think you have to be, when you make a statement like that, you have to know what comes with it. It's a loaded topic, I feel. You can't say that everyone who is struggling right now is financially irresponsible. You can't say everyone that's struggling right now is living above their means. You can't say everyone that's struggling right now just needs to pull themselves up by the bootstraps and work harder, because the harder you work and the more money you make, the less access to resources you have. And you can very well find yourself, I should say, in the same position you were in before, but just with a higher income. And being taxed at a higher rate. That's something that was very shocking to me when I got my first promotion. I'm like, okay, where's all this extra money at? Because now I just lost, you know, these resources. I lost Medicaid, so that's more money on me that I had to pay for my kids' healthcare. So that's something that I experienced too. Like, you try to better yourself and you kind of get spanked for it, for trying to make more money. And that's something I experienced this year too. Like, you guys know I have the tax bill. I made more money than I ever did last year, but I also owed more than I ever have. I owe more than I ever had. So sometimes the solution is not work harder, because there are a lot of factors at play that you don't really have full control over. You know, we're not in that seat making decisions that are going to impact people's lives in a negative or positive way, and we don't have the ability to control everything, you know, that affects us. So, you know, if you're working, you know, you're busting your butt, you're trying your hardest to improve your situation, I feel like you're doing enough, but not everything is in your full control. And there's really nothing you can do about it besides stay consistent. And it may take you longer. It may be a longer route than others, a harder route than others. But I do believe that with consistency, you will eventually reach a point where things do start, you know, to get better. I know I was saying earlier, people are finding it very difficult to find jobs. They are putting in hundreds of applications and not getting any bites. Or just the entry-level requirements are asking for way too much for such little pay. I don't even know where I was, but you know, companies are obviously, they're not hiring like they used to. And I did read there were some ghost positions where they just post positions to make it look like they're hiring, but they're not really hiring. I don't know what that's about. I haven't done my research on that, but you know, we have all these mass layoffs like Microsoft, Google, I believe, because companies need to cut costs. It's not just affecting us, it's affecting big companies too. And unfortunately, it's going to be the employees that are going to be one of the first things to go when it comes to them trying to save money and cut costs. But I don't think that that should deter anyone from getting or striving to have a new position especially if they're working 2 to 3 different jobs to make ends meet, why not go for that one position that will allow you to have more free time with just even yourself, or to spend more time with your family and more time in the home, whether you're renting or you're owning, that you are working so hard for. And even though there's a lot of negativity out there, there's a lot of bad news that we're hit with every single day. From the moment we open our eyes, there's something negative out there. There's something traumatic going on. I still think that you have to try to find something worth striving for every single day. You have to find something that is positive every single day. And that is why I intentionally do not watch the news or read articles. Whatever I allow in my reality is something that I intentionally allowed. It's not something that I'm scrolling and now I'm being fed these things, because if I go to that news app, I already know what I'm going to find. It's going to be a bunch of things that are going to be anxiety provoking for me. And then I'm going to go down this rabbit hole of feeling like the world is on fire and everything's terrible and we're all going to lose our jobs, and you know, we're never going to be able to afford the things that we want or to afford the American dream, which I don't even think the original American dream is the American dream anymore. But it can easily have you spiraling out of control and you thinking that everything is just up shit creek, because it's had that much impact on your perception of reality. But when you go outside, you find that things aren't really that bad. Nothing's on fire. People are still friendly, or at least in my case. But just everyone's trying to find creative ways to just make it right now. And we're kind of just all on pins and needles, just waiting to see what's going to happen, especially after this, you know, this election that we have going on. And my plan is just to pay off as much debt as I can, because my prediction, which may be absolutely incorrect, I'm not an economist, I don't think that I have enough education to even say this is my prediction and you should believe it too. But I am just preparing as though things are going to be worse next year. So just in case things get a little bit worse, I want to owe the least amount. So I have got to get these credit cards paid off, and then maybe possibly focus on my auto loan. I don't know. But either way it goes, get the credit cards paid off, get the student loan paid off, and then just focus on my savings. Just so, you know, if income does go down, I don't owe as many things. It would just mainly be my auto loan and my mortgage that I would be owing. And that way I wouldn't be as stressed, because you guys know I have 2 human beings that rely on me, and I don't have any wiggle room to fail, to be quite honest. I don't have any wiggle room for plan B and C. Plan A has to work because I'm the head of my household, and that is just an extra layer of pressure. And there are a lot of you guys who are in the same boat. I know, like that's a heavy crown to wear on your head for these times. And it may feel like some days you don't know if you're coming or going. You feel like you're drowning. You are definitely not alone. And I say that because it's becoming more evident that a lot of people are feeling the same. They're feeling the same way. And I don't want to put out anything that is not accurately portraying my reality and being sensitive to what's going on right now, and you know what a lot of people are dealing with. So that's why you guys have seen the switch to, like, girl, I had to go back to sit down videos instead of like the vlogs, because I felt like as some type of influencer, I don't see myself as an influencer, but at the end of the day, that doesn't matter how I see myself. I still put out content. And so I know that I am part of the problem, or what I see as a problem. There are a lot of people online, because a lot of us are in our online world more than our outside world. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people online that maybe aren't accurately displaying their reality. And in a time where everyone is so vulnerable, we really don't know what our future holds, we do flock to these people. And whether they like it or not, whether we like it or not, we have a lot of responsibility whenever you have a following, whether it's 1,000, 30,000, 100,000. That comes with a lot of responsibility. And I feel like people have a fetish over influencers. It is a fetish. Like, we fetishize, is that a word? I don't even know. I'm gonna say it like it's a word. We fetishize over their lives, what they have, what they are doing. But coming from the influencer side of things, I can say that at the height of the pandemic, when everyone was more so quit your 9-to-5, work for yourself because you know your worth, they're not going to pay you your worth, and you're worthy of so much and so much abundance. So everyone jumped on the opportunity to create an online business, and you're making so much money by selling to your audience. I think now that people, you know, consumption is still high, but people are more intentional about where their money is going. I think that certain influencers or people, and I'm not exempt from it, have created a new type of prison for themselves, or a new type of 9-to-5 for themselves, because now you're kind of pigeonholed into doing the same exact thing or producing the same exact thing because you've got people's fetishes to satisfy. I'm just saying it black and white. But I'm gonna say we, because I was definitely part of the crowd, especially when I was building my Instagram. We thought we were gonna have a one-way ticket to freedom, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. We thought we were going to have a one-way ticket to freedom, to escape the 9-to-5. We don't have a cap on how much we can earn. You know, this is great. This is awesome. Getting brand deals and all that good stuff. To escape the 9-to-5 rat race. But now you're just stuck performing for the algorithm to take care of your bills. And spending has gone down. In regard to people being more intentional about where their money is going. I did see a study on that people just aren't spending the way that they used to. Like, fast food chains are going down in profit because people aren't spending the way that they used to once again. And if people aren't spending the way that they used to, then the profit from your products go down. You guys, when it comes to people selling things, are what's paying their bills. And if you're not buying these things, then bills aren't being paid. And so you're kind of just left performing for the algorithm, which has way too much control over people in general, but people who actually want to put their products out there and things like that, you're left kind of doing a tap dance for the algorithm. And I think when I said I left Instagram, I was ready to take off the clown nose, because that's what I felt. I felt like I was a clown performing for the circus. The creator is the clown, and that's how I felt, just me personally. And then the circus is the algorithm, and the algorithm's telling you dance, dance, twirl, ride your little tricycle, perform for me, perform for the audience at the circus, so you can get paid, or just so you can go up in following, or whatever your, you know, whatever your goal is. And tying it in with everything, when you're feeling insecure and you obsess over other people's lifestyle, it's just not, it's not exactly what you think it is. And now with the algorithm changing, and I'm just, this is just my my prediction, people aren't going to get paid as much, or it's just going to be harder to get paid. online, or if you have a business online or anything like that, they're going to make it harder, because if people are trying to cut down on costs, they're not going to allow you to make bukus of money. If all these people were making bukus of money online, how are they making a profit, you know? And so they're going to give you an incentive to work harder, create more content, or whatever it is that you're doing. In turn, that's keeping more people on their platform, whatever that platform may be, making them more money. But you may find that you're not making half of what you used to. And that is true for me, and especially like on YouTube. For the same amount of views, I find that I'm not making as much money. But the clown nose just doesn't sound appealing to me. So I am just trying to, like I said, pay off as much debt as I can, stack up my savings, and just ride this wave out. And who knows, next year may be a lot better for everyone financially. But I just say, you don't really know. You can't really say for sure. And I feel like since the pandemic, we've been living in so much uncertainty. No wonder mental illness is on the rise, and everyone has anxiety and unhappy. We're the most connected we've ever been through social media. But I also know and have heard that we are the loneliest we've ever been, which is crazy. But you can't really... I think that the emotional mental connection that we get from people outside, it's very difficult to have that online. And it's very dangerous to have the ability to create your own, not perception, but I guess have the ability to manipulate people's perception of you and what your reality of life really is. That is very dangerous, because it can have you very unhappy, because what the life that you created online may not look like the life that you're living once you put your phone down, or when your phone dies, or when the internet goes out. And then you're kind of left being unfulfilled and unhappy, because why does my life not look like it does online? A lot of people are looking for an escape, you know, from their reality, because reality is it's difficult right now. It's very difficult. It's very hard. I don't think anyone's really having a good time right now, especially financially, except for the 1%. And they may be making more than they ever had. And when saying that, the irony of my investments being the highest they've ever been, I finally hit, and I don't even know if I'm behind, 6 figures, and I'm 32. I don't know how much. I think I'm supposed to have at least 1 year's worth of my salary, which that would be accurate, by 30. But I find it so funny, like, I'm like, this must be how they feel. People who can really go hard on their investments, this must be how they feel. But I'm kind of conflicted, because I feel like every month I just don't know. I'm just doing my best, trying to get by, but my investments are doing well. And I'm looking at that and I see my name attached to it, and I'm like, that's great. But when you're trying to survive in the day-to-day, you kind of just don't know how to take that, because it's like, that's money you can't touch. And so what's the point? Me, I don't check it that often. So I'm like, what's the point of looking at it if I can't touch it, and the purpose of it is to have it sitting there? But I just can't help but think, like, this must be how investors feel. People who have multiple 6 figures, or even million-dollar portfolios, they must, this is their reality. And I feel like I have a little piece of their reality, but mainly my reality is the average American who is just trying their hardest to keep their heads above water. Okay, I'm gonna do my eyebrows next. And I don't even know, girl, I may have gone completely off topic. I don't even know if this is gonna make sense to some people, or if some people can even keep up. But one thing too, I will say, is I'm beyond burnt out, y'all. And it's been hard for me to admit. I am burnt out, not like from work, but just from everything in general. Like, I feel like we have not really gotten a chance to get back in the groove of life since COVID. and we just had to keep going like nothing happened. We had to keep going, keep working. We really didn't have any time to sit and process things, and I think that was a traumatic time for everyone. And it's like the trauma didn't stop. The trauma didn't stop. Like, things have been crazy ever since. Certain wars and other illnesses going on, and then we get smacked with the economy going crazy and haywire, and we're just like, what is going on? And I feel like I've gotten to the point where I've tried to care too much, to the point where I've burnt myself out, and I just don't care about much of anything at all. I don't care. I find myself scrolling and through certain things, and the things that used to catch my eye, I'm like, I don't care. You know, you get some of those ads that are like, stop right here if you want to learn how to make, you know, $10,000 in 2 days. And I'm just like, I used to watch those free master classes. They do typically sell at the end, or try to sell, but I used to take the time and watch those and be so excited, just trying to find new ways to increase my income. And now I'm like, girl, I don't have the mental capacity for this. I don't care. I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to sell anything else. I don't want to do anything else. Oh, that's way too dark. Ugh. I just want to survive. I just want a minute to breathe and just figure out where I'm going with life after this. Yeah, but I'm just like, I don't know. It's not depression. I think it's just overwhelm mixed with overconsumption, all mixed in one. Like, when you are trying to make a way and just try to find new ways to keep up with this crazy world, you can easily get burnt out. And please let me know that I'm not the only one that feels this way. Even when it comes to like certain people, I'm like, girl, I can't. I can't tolerate anything that's not of substance right now. It's like my brain cannot fit in anything when I'm trying to like figure out day to day how to go out and get it for me and my kids and keep up with everything that needs to be kept up with, you know. Be caught up in drama and gossip and things like that. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. I gotta hit these goals. I gotta get these credit cards paid off, girl. I don't have time for this. I've got to stay in my reality. I guess that's the thing. Like, there's so many things out here that pull us from our own reality, that suck up our time that we need for ourselves, and we are giving that time to other people. And it's just weird when you think about it and really break down what it is. It's weird. It's weird, but it's very difficult to realize that you're doing it and to stop doing it and pull yourself out of that. But I wonder why that is. I wonder if that's intentional. What is the purpose here? I don't know. I don't know. I told you guys, I don't know. I don't have a solution, but I am picking up on it, and I'm just trying to do the best that I can to stay on my A game. Even though I feel like my A game is C game right now, but that's just what I got. That's what I got for life right now. Let me know down below. Look at this. Y'all, let me know down below how you're feeling about the economy right now. Has it impacted you? If it has, how has it impacted your finances? What are you doing right now to kind of offset the impact that it's had on you? I want to hear it all, because y'all just sat here and listened to me ramble on about a random amount of topics. So let me know down below how you're feeling, how you're doing, what are your goals? Is your goal just to survive? Which, if it is, I totally get it. And I will catch you guys in the next video.